Every year, Samsung launches 3 Galaxy S phones. This year, it was the Galaxy S24, Galaxy S24 Plus, and Galaxy S24 Ultra. Next year, though, I hope that Samsung releases a Galaxy S25 Pro. Okay, so before I tell you about what I think the Galaxy S25 Pro should be, we need to talk about 2 other companies that release smartphones, namely Apple and Google. Apple's smartphone release strategy has been pretty consistent over the past few years. There's a mainline iPhone, a Plus version of that mainline iPhone, and then a Pro version of that mainline iPhone, and finally the Pro Max version, which is the biggest and most powerful of them all. Obviously, Apple used to do iPhone minis that it doesn't do anymore, but for the past few years and going forward, this is Apple's main strategy. Meanwhile, Google has done things a little bit differently. Over the past few years, it's had 2 major phones, the Pixel and then the Pixel Pro. So this year we had the Pixel 8 and then the Pixel 8 Pro. This year though, Google's gonna do things a little bit different. Google's going to release a Pixel 9, a Pixel 9 Pro, and then a Pixel 9 Pro XL. The 9 Pro is going to be this interesting in-between phone. It's going to be about the same size as the Pixel 9, but feature a lot of the same capabilities as the Pixel 9 Pro XL, including a triple camera on the back. This is really exciting because it's finally going to give people the option to get a super powerful phone in a compact form factor. Previously, this is something that only Apple really provided. Even a lot of Android manufacturers that were creating compact phones made them not quite as powerful as the other phones in their lineup or other phones in competitors' lineups. So this all leaves Samsung in a precarious situation because as far as we know, Samsung doesn't have a phone that can compete directly against the iPhone Pro and the Pixel Pro. Remember, both these phones are fairly compact, yet offer all the capabilities of the top-of-the-line phone, save for things like battery life and maybe a few camera features. So a Galaxy S25 Pro would need to exist in Samsung's lineup right between the Galaxy Plus and the Galaxy Ultra. So far, nothing really exists in that point. You either spend $1,000 on the Galaxy Plus, or you spend a lot more money on the Galaxy Ultra, with no choice existing in between. Now that we know that Apple and Google are doing this, Samsung's going to have to respond. So now that we understand the importance of a Galaxy S25 Pro, let's talk about what that could possibly look like. Before I get started, there's no leaks for this, there's no information. This is just me talking about what I think the Galaxy S25 Pro should be if Samsung were to do it. Obviously, it would need to have all the capabilities that we expect with the Galaxy S25 Plus. That would include a 1440p display with 120 Hz refresh rate, 12 gigabytes of RAM at the minimum, 256 gigabytes of storage at the minimum, 45 watts of wired charging speeds, and on and on and on. Basically, everything that the Galaxy S24 Plus has already, the Galaxy S25 Pro would also need to have. The difference for the Pro model, though, would be that it would need to also adopt a lot of the features reserved for the Ultra. Most notably, this would be the camera. The Galaxy S24 Ultra's camera is light years ahead of the Galaxy S24 Plus's camera, at least when it comes to hardware specs and versatility. That would mean the Galaxy S25 Pro would need to have all the camera capabilities of the Galaxy S24 Ultra, including that 200 megapixel lens, a dual telephoto system, and all the AI photography capabilities that the Ultra has. The internals of the Galaxy S25 Pro would also have to match the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It would be awesome if Samsung did Qualcomm processors everywhere in the world for all of its devices, but at the very least, the Pro model would have to have Qualcomm everywhere, not just here in the United States. This is what Samsung did with the Ultra model this year, so if it did it to the Pro model, that would make perfect sense. The cover glass of the Galaxy S25 Pro would also have to have Gorilla Glass armor, which is exclusive right now to the Galaxy S24 Ultra. This glass is super strong and also has a unique coating that makes it look better under direct sunlight, so you can see things a little bit easier. It's not quite as good as what we've seen from TCL's Next Paper technology, but it's pretty good, and the Pro model would definitely have to have it. The real trick, though, would be figuring out a way to cram all of these features from the Ultra into a phone that's about the same size as the Galaxy S24 Plus, or maybe even a little bit smaller. Doing so would undoubtedly mean that Samsung would need to remove the S Pen from the Galaxy S25 Pro. Now, that doesn't mean that the Galaxy S25 Pro couldn't support S Pen. It just means it couldn't come with a slot so you could keep the S Pen inside the phone wherever it goes. This would be a fine trade-off as far as I'm concerned. I'm the kind of person who never uses the S Pen, so its existence in the Ultra models doesn't really affect me either way, but it could be a nice perk too. Samsung could say, hey, if you want the Ultra, it's gonna have a bigger battery, it's gonna have this S Pen, it's gonna have a bigger display, etc., etc. Why don't you upgrade to this? So that would make the Ultra still the top of the line phone from Samsung, but give people an option for a smaller phone without the S Pen that still has a lot of the Ultra's capabilities. So that's my vision of what I think the Galaxy S25 Pro would look like. But this brings up a big question is, what would happen to the Galaxy S Plus models? Samsung could continue to do what Apple does. For example, it could have the Galaxy S25, the Galaxy S25 Plus, Galaxy S25 Pro, and Galaxy S25 Ultra. That's what Apple does, so makes perfect sense. However, Apple and Samsung both readily admit that the Plus models are the weakest sellers of the lineup. That's probably why Google isn't bothering with a Pixel 9 Plus. Samsung could go with Google's strategy, eliminate the Plus and replace it with the Pro. That would mean next year we would get a Galaxy S25, a Galaxy S25 Pro, which is a little bit bigger, and then a Galaxy S25 Ultra, which is basically the sequel to the Galaxy S24 Ultra. This might upset a lot of Samsung fans though, because a lot of fans do really enjoy that Plus. But would you still enjoy the Plus if you had a Pro instead that was around the same price? I think most Samsung fans would appreciate having that phone that in between the original vanilla Galaxy S25 and the top of the line Ultra. I don't know about you, but I would be super into this hypothetical Galaxy S25 Pro. This is the Samsung phone that I would want the most. I want all the features of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. I want that processor, I want that camera, I want that speed, but I don't care for the boxy shape and huge size of the Ultra. And the S Pen is pretty much useless to me. So getting rid of those negative aspects and bringing it to a phone that is more compact, more ergonomic, and just as powerful would be an easy sell for somebody like me. But I want to know what you have to say about this. Are my thoughts about a Galaxy S25 Pro way off the mark, or is this something Samsung fans would want? Jump down in the comments and let me know. Just remember, please be nice about it. And I will see you guys in the next video.